everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica, and author, Chelle Sloan.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to have fun. This is going to be great.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Okay, so I have a question that's not on the list, and I'm just going to jump right in.
I love it.
Okay, so you've been posting about The Good Girl's Guide to Love is coming September 4th.
Yes. Yeah.
The other Guide to Love books have all been Simon's sisters, but I thought we were out of sisters.
This is the last sister.
There's one more sister.
There's Ainsley.
Oh,
So there's four
okay.
sisters. Yes. Yes. So we have Ainsley, and Ainsley is the easy one to forget because she is the quiet one. She kind of hangs back. She is a nurse. She just kind of minds her business. She doesn't drink. She doesn't swear. She is a very where did this Banks child come from? So she is kind of easy to forget in the lore of the Banks family. But yes, she is the last one. She is the good girl. And I just wrote, it was a real fun scene to write. She gets drunk for the first time. She gets drunk.
Oh, yeah.
She discovered Fireball. And Fireball tastes like cinnamon gum.
Yes.
And then she drinks a bottle. And she proceeds to sing karaoke.
Oh.
The playlist, I love, and I don't know if you guys listen to playlists or whatever, but I always have a playlist with my books. I like making them, and then I've also heard from book influencers and everything. They're actually really helps us because when we're picking a song, we can go to your playlist and be like, all right, that's the vibe that goes great. Mm-hmm. But this playlist is already, I'm only in chapter 12. But all of the song the playlist is fully done because of how many karaoke songs I put into this playlist. It is epic. So yes, so that is Ainsley. She is the last of the Banks sisters and the last to get her Guide to Love.
Okay. Well, that clears that up. I was like, wait, I'm so confused.
Is Fireball on that playlist?
No, but I should.
It should be. Write that down.
I do need to put it on there.
I love it.
You had me with this one with the good girl, bad boy football player. That's my thing.
Yes. Yes. It's been fun. It's because, so I don't write grumpy, broody, the morally gray. I am not a morally gray kind of writer, right? And I think you need the balance. So I'm going to let the people who like writing that and who do it well, I'm going to let them do this. So it's been interesting to figure out how to write a bad guy who is a cinnamon roll, who is kind of the golden retriever, who is down, the swoony, those really good guy kind of heroes that I really enjoy writing and who my heroes all pretty much are, while also adding in a bad boy element, because usually you don't see those together. At least I haven't. Mm-hmm. So it's been interesting, trying to figure out Link's vibe. But yeah, so it's going to be fun. And I'm dipping my toes back into the sports world, which is where I began. So that's always fun too.
Mm-hmm. Mandy loves a sports romance.
Yes, I am very excited about this one.
Mm-hmm. See, this is the time of year where I don't have to hear about football. Pretty soon it'll come up again. And normally we'll be recording like this, and she'll hear that my husband's in the back. My husband is normally in the background when we're home recording. And then all I'll hear is, hey, Jeff. And then they start talking football. And I'm just sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting.
True story. So one of my best friends in the business is Bella Matthews, and her husband found out that I'm a former sports writer, sports editor. That's that's my background. And so she knows football. She knows it. She likes it. She grew up, in Jersey. She's a huge Philly fan. Her dad was a coach. So she knows the game, but not how I do, just because it was my professional life for 20 years. And so then when her husband found out, he'll hear me if we're Zoom writing together or on a FaceTime, he'll just kind of slide in.
Yep.
And then especially in the next coming months when we're starting to do fantasy drafts and different things, we'll start going, he'd be like, so what do you think of so-and-so this year? And then Bella's be like, I'll see you guys in 10. I'm going to go right away.
Exactly.
And you two have fun talking.
I feel her. I feel that because that is what happens. And I'm like, we were supposed to be recording a video, right? You guys are still talking
It's
about
fine.
it.
The video will be there.
It will be there. It's good. It's bonding for them. It's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So if somebody was new to your writing, where would you recommend they start with your books?
So I have kind of figured out, I think personally, that I have a good middle point starting ground that suffices for everyone depending on what kind of reader you are. That I think, like, if you like to start at the beginning of a series, this checks that box. So basically the book I'm talking about is The One I Want. So I think this is the perfect place to start because it has an audio option. So if you're an audio reader, the whole series is done in audio and it's everywhere so you can listen to audio. It's the beginning of a series and it's very separate from the spin-off of The Fury. So like, even though that's what it technically spun off from, you don't need to read it beforehand. So if you like to start things in chronological order, which is always me, if I find a book 2, I have to go back to book 1. My brain will not let me read out of order. So this is a book 1. It has an audio option. I think it has, I love writing banter and found family and those groups, and this book is really strong in that, and it's the beginning of seeing that friend group. And I think single dad is an elite trope that I think everybody loves. I think any mood reader, single dad trope, you can't go wrong with it. And it has enough of the funny that gives you a light read with still some good emotions that doesn't make it super fluffy. So I think it kind of fits all of those bills. So after 4 years of publishing, I have finally been able to narrow down to The One I Want is the good place to start for any of your reading tendencies.
That's where I started. Is that the one you started with, Mandy, or was it a different one?
I started in the Rolling Heroes series, but I think I might have started with book 2 and then went back. I think
you convinced me to read The One I Want. I think it was in one of our convincings, and that's where I
Mm-hmm.
started. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
I mean,
you were
that
on
series,
point.
yeah.
yes. And that series all is interconnected, and you can't jump around because and all of my series are, and they all have connectors to everything. But yeah, I feel like I was like, I really need to figure out how to answer that question a lot. Because I get asked it a lot, and I'm like, oh, well, if you like this, I'm like, that doesn't help it. I've just narrowed it down to 4. They want me to narrow it down. I'm like, let's figure this out. You're back.
You are.
What did I miss? I'm back.
No, you're good. You're
good. The One I Want. Okay.
We got the one. That's where you start with me, and yeah, I think that's a good starting place.
Perfect. I think so too. I agree with you on that one.
Yes. I love the Rolling Hills series. That was a great series.
Thank you. It was, I really feel like that's where I started truly figuring out what I liked to do and how I like to write, and where I really came into my own as an author. And yes, I've kind of leaning more toward the funny. I've always had funny elements in my book. They've always been lighter. I tried to do angsty once. It was a fail. We don't do angsty here. But I think that was the series where I truly felt like, yes, there are rules to writing, but you don't have to.
Right.
I think I went into that series still feeling like, I'm a 2013 reader where everything had a third act breakup. Everything. You name the book, it had a third act breakup, and you just expected it. So when I started writing, that was what was in my head, right? That you had to do this breakup, you had to do this. And toward the end of the Fury series, I'm like, I don't regret anything I've written. I think the stories that I have written have meant to be where they are, and I published them. I wouldn't, if I didn't like them, I wouldn't have published them, right? But looking back, I'm like, if I would have realized that I didn't have to third act break up, that I didn't have to take this book that I just spent 80,000 words creating to break it in a chapter and put it back. You know what I mean? Like, so there's all these like little rules that I thought that I had to abide by. And in Rolling Hills, I realized they're guidelines. They're suggestions. Like, make the story your own. And I really feel like in Rolling Hills, that's where I really started embracing that and letting me just fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, also, I hope I can stare because I just
great
did.
Fine,
in
okay.
your books.
One or two's okay.
In your oh shoot, which I'm forgetting the title, but it's in the Rolling Hills series where she's listening to the audiobook and they get in the car.
What book did I?
Oh, what one? They had kids though, right? Whoever it was had kids.
Was it Amelia?
Um,
Amelia and Shane?
no, it's Rhodes. No, am I in the wrong?
No.
Hold on.
I think so.
She'll figure it out.
I just read Rhodes, but I read Catherine Cowell's book. She was a Rhodes.
Oh. I remember you talking about it, Mandy.
Yes. I don't think it was Amelia. She's listening to the audiobook.
I also don't remember what I wrote today. So asking me to remember what I wrote in my books, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you, Mandy?
I don't remember.
When people come up to me at signings and they're like, can you put in your favorite quote from the book or something from the book? I'm like, Miss Ma'am, I wrote that in 2022.
Yeah.
I was a very different person back then. I don't know if I could do it. Like, I was at the Bluegrass last year, and Runaway Bride's Guide to Love was coming out like the next week, and I was able to get paperbacks for that signing, right? So I literally just finished this book like less than a month ago, and they're like, write your favorite thing, and I'm like,
what? Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm unfortunately zero help.
It's okay.
But that would happen like if you asked me to put a quote in from a book that I read yesterday. I couldn't tell you. Sometimes I can't even tell you.
I'll do is like I'll do like a page flip and see where it comes and see if it jogs anything. Usually once I see it, it'll jog my memory for something. It can kind of be like when I try to pull hooks for TikTok or Instagram or something. Like, I don't remember, but if I like kind of scan some chapters, it might, ping something in my brain, which has been fun going back. I'm doing kind of a revisit of Rolling Hills for Instagram. And so I've been pulling quotes and different things and like popular highlights. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like that Facebook meme where the guy is like, he said the most important thing to me and I'll always remember his words. And then he's like, and I don't remember exactly what he said. That one. Have you guys seen that?
Yep.
That's
I live that.
This was like my favorite book I've read, but I cannot remember the main characters' names.
I, one time, this is like back in like reader days, right? I remembered this book and it was hilarious. I remember laughing my ass off. And I thought that I know I eyeball read it because I didn't listen to audio when I remembered it or whatever. But I remembered it was like a road trip. It was a brother's best friend. And they were driving across, they were doing this like cross country, like one last hurrah before her brother got married. So it was like her and her dad, the brother's best friend, and they're in this RV and they're driving across the country. And it was hilarious. And then years later, I'm trying to get into audio and people were telling me, like, make sure you start with a favorite author or even like a reread of a book that you did. And it'll kind of help you like turn your brain into audio like mode or whatever. And I loved Megan Quinn, but I hadn't read a lot by Megan Quinn. So I was like, just going, and I'm reading this and listening to this book and I'm cracking up laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. It reminds me exactly of this book I read a few years ago. What was the title of it? Oh, wait, it was the same book. And I didn't realize it was the same book till like 80% of the audio.
That's sad, actually.
It was really sad. And there was only like a year or two in between like the two. It wasn't like this was a 2013 and yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's funny because
that's
there's
what I
been
did.
times I've picked up a book and I'm like, or I'll start listening to a book and I'm like, have I listened to this one already? But that's what Goodreads is for. It will tell me if I have. But if it was before the time that, like, I started really reading in 2020, but I didn't start marking what I read until, a few months into it. So there's a few from the very beginning that I had to go back and put into Goodreads so I won't, mistakenly reread them. But I know I've missed a few because every once in a while I'll think about a book and I'll be like, ooh, what was that book? And it's not in there anywhere. So, no.
I get it. That's also how you know that you're just immersed in the book because you're just rolling on vibes at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, do you have a favorite book or a favorite character you've written?
My favorite hero is always going to be Simon from The One I Hate. He's also somebody like very much based off of a person in my real life who is very like close to me. So like Simon always will have that like emotional pull to me. And that's when I figured out that my favorite kind of hero to write was just a chaos golden retriever. Like I loved I didn't know how people were going to take him, and it was exactly how I wanted them to, but I love Simon. I'm trying to think, like, always my favorite couple, Oliver and Izzy from The One I Need. They're just always the ones that are very easy for me to get back into their mindset with. And like, hey, I need like a bonus chapter tomorrow, pick any characters. Their number one and very closely second is Logan and Maeve from Single Mom's Guide to Love. I think it's like the Black Cat Golden Retriever. I just love that vibe. And those two books are the, perfect examples of that. So those are like my top two couples that I like just because to me, they're easy to get back into their mindset. And I loved writing them so much. Favorite book I have like ones for different reasons, like you'll always remember the like Off the Record, which is wasn't my debut book, but it was the first in the Shellverse that is still published and all that. It was my first book was in Corinne Michael's Salvation Society world. So yes, it was my story, but I was still using her characters. I still had parameters. So like it was my debut, but it wasn't the beginning of my world and my creation. So like Off the Record will always hold that like special place. And every other one I just love for a little different reason. And they're your babies, they're your children. Like you like some better some days, and other days you want to slap them. For me, I want to slap them when I'm writing them.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
So I think we kind of covered this, but my next question is, can you share what you're currently working on or any upcoming projects?
So I'll give you the two, so that way it is a little bit, so we have, and it kind of answers your question from earlier that you didn't even realize you were asking. So you were asking about Guide to Love and like, what was there the last one? So yes, so we have Good Girls Guide to Love comes out in September. And that is Ainsley, who's the last bank sister. She is the good girl. Again, doesn't drink, doesn't, swear. She's a pediatric nurse, for goodness sake. Like she saves tiny humans. Like you can't get much better than that. And then out of a comic, of events, starts fake dating the bad boy football player. And some spicy lessons are thrown in during the way because why not? And it'll be, if you've read the Guide to Love books, you will have the classic bad guy who did this to them, Banks family vengeance, vigilante actions coming into play. I just wrote a chapter where they were pretend to spy on Ainsley and Link and doing it very badly and trying to wear black clothing in the middle of Nashville in the middle of the day, trying to hide behind cars to spy on them. And Maeve looking at them going, you assholes, I told you this wasn't going to work. Like, we're wrapping up the Banks family in a very good way. But there is one more quote unquote guide to love. And that's just because I couldn't let a Christmas go by and not have a Christmas guide. So we have the Vixen's Guide to Christmas. So it's like loosely in this world. I still don't exactly, every day I go back, I have my couples and I have to write 2 Christmas things this year. One is for Vixen's Guide to Christmas. And then I will be doing an anthology for Indies Invade Philly that will be included, and it's a Christmas story that will be included in that, but I'll also be releasing it as a freebie for my readers and my newsletter and everything like that. And so I have 2 Christmas stories to write and I have couples. And every day I go back and forth on who is getting what book, because they're both kind of tied to the Guide to Love world. They're both going to kind of be tied to the next world that I'm starting in 2026 that spins off from this. So like, there's not a right or wrong answer. I just which way I want to pull it yet. So, but yeah, so we're going to have 2 Christmas stories this year. One is a very freebie. One will be I don't want to say a full length as my big books, but not a novella. So like somewhere in between, a good feel good Christmas story, but we're getting the Vixen's Guide to Christmas in beginning of November.
Perfect.
Okay. So 2 more books this year and a new series next year.
Yep. We're just chugging along.
Do you know, you don't have to tell us anything about it, but do you know what the new series is going to be, or you just know you're going to write a new series?
No, I know parts. We don't have titles locked down yet, but we're going back to sports. I missed my sports days. I've kind of built this in my head of a little bit of everything from the first 3 completed series. So you're going to have, I'm not doing full Fury. I'm not going back. I'm going all athletes. So we're going to have a football player. We're going to have a baseball player. We're going to have a hockey player. And we're going to have a golfer because golfers are sexy. Yes. And if they wear the right pair of khaki pants with those arms in a really well-fitted polo shirt.
I think you're the first person I ever heard to say that golfers were sexy.
Listen, I'm a golfer. I started playing golf again. I used to when I was younger, and I've started taking it back again. Listen, you go to a golf course on a Saturday afternoon when the boys are out, and they're in, because girls will dress up, like we'll get out like, oh, it's brunch, we gotta like go look nice. These guys spend more time on what their outfits are for an outing with the boys on a Saturday, and they look good.
Okay, I'll take. I just picture my father-in-law.
Listen. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, okay. So we have golf and golf. We're gonna start with football, and then I don't know which order is gonna go from there. So the next 3, this is not the actual order, but yeah. So football, hockey, baseball, golf. They are a group of friends. They kind of came together because they have the same agent. I don't want to give away yet what the hobby that they all have that brings them together. Okay. But they all have a hobby that they do together as friends. It's nothing kinky. It's actually very funny, and don't think that they're like some weird. I'll leave the sex clubs to Sarah Kate. Like, she can have the sex clubs. I have the very wholesome activity that these 4 guys enjoy, that they share a common bond with. But yeah, so it's kind of, so it has like the sports of the Fury. It's going to have the found family of Rolling Hills and the comedy of Guide to Love. And I'm putting it all together in a series next year.
Okay.
That sounds fantastic.
I'm really excited for it.
Let you in on a little bestie secret here. It's not really a secret. Anybody who watched our channel knows this. We're not into the sex club things. So
okay,
you're in. You're done.
Right, you're not getting it from me. I love reading it. I could never write it.
I have a hard time getting into it. I don't know what it is. I just not. I mean, I am the dark romance reader, right? That's just not my thing. No, I don't like it. I don't know what it is. So
yeah. Well, don't worry. Not happening in the Chelle Sloan books next year. It's not they're not going to Salacious together. Again, I'll leave that
I don't go
Sarah.
to my palate cleansers for sex puns, so we're good. That's great to know.
No. And that's what I am. I am the palate cleanser. So like, here we
in
go.
between my crazy stuff, that is where you go, right there. It's perfect.
Now your post the other day about being disappointed it was raining and you couldn't go golfing makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's been like my little treat. Like I just go out there, I go by myself, I click on my tunes, and I just kind of get lost for a couple hours and doing something active, and I'm literally touching grass. So, so it's one of those things that gets me like, I get really bummed when I'm like today, I'm like, oh, I wrote 3,000 words today. I'm doing this podcast. I've done this, I did this. I'm going to let myself go golfing and have, take a couple hours for myself. And then it starts raining. And then it's the, like literally the Eeyore, like,
yeah.
Oh, well.
So you said you were in the sports writing world before. So how did you transition over to romance writing?
Well, it helped. Probably not in the right way. So I got very burnt. I burned myself out in my last job, like sports writing, and I covered college and pro football. Like it's a 7-day a week, 365. You never sleep. You never get a day off. Journalism is one of those industries that was starting to feel cutbacks before the recession, and then it just never got better, right? And so it's always do more with less, and I burnt myself out. So in 2019, summer of 2019, I left the journalism field, and I was actually going back to school. I was moving back home to kind of decompress. My last job was in Detroit. So I moved back from Detroit back to Ohio, and I'm like, I'm going to move in with my parents. I'm going to just reset. Like I needed a reset. I needed a recharge. And I enrolled in graduate school. I was going to Alabama online to get my master's. So I was like, I don't want this like career that I've had to go to waste per se, but I really enjoy teaching. I love working with kids. Like I used to teach dance. I've done this. Like I enjoy working with students. So I was like, I'll get my degree and I'll go back and teach. During the master's process is when, and I always had the romance book thing in it was a brain worm that I could never get rid of. And it's one of those where, and I'm sure if anybody has a writing bug and you read something so much, you start getting could I do this? Maybe I could do this. I don't know if I could do this, but maybe I could do this. And then sadly enough, I read a lot of crap. And I'm like, well, I can do that. And I just paid $4 for that book. Like, would somebody pay me $4 for that book? Like, like that's where like kind of my brain started going. But so when I came home and I'm going to grad school and I'm teaching dance and I'm just trying to like reset my life and figure out what's next. And that's when Corinne opened up the Salvation World. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Why not? I had like 4 really bad chapters of a book that I will never go back to try to reread because God knows how horrible it probably was. And I sent them in and she accepted it. And I was going to be a one and done. And then she was like, no, what's next? She swore at me because that's Corinne. And then I came up with The Fury. And at that point, we're also now in the pandemic. So like everything, so like I might have kept writing and was still trying to find a job teaching, but the pandemic just blew out college jobs and programs and everything. And so like that plan B then got thrown away. And so then I just kind of kept writing. By the time I found another job, it was one where I could very much balance a writing schedule with that work schedule. So I just kind of kept writing, which was great because then that job laid me off. And here I am.
Yeah.
So
you couldn't even teach dance at that point too, because that's when dance stuff
dance was, all of that was, it was about a year, even like we shut down for the end of 2020. We got back by 21, but we're dancing with masks. We had very like small classes because you had to keep the kids 6 feet apart. Like It was just such a crazy time. And so it was just kind of one of those where it started as a bucket list. It kind of became like, oh, this could be a good side hustle while we're still trying to figure out life. And then before I knew it, 16 books later, here we are.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things changed during the pandemic for a lot of people.
Very much. Very much. And that's where I kind of give myself grace, because I'm like, I went and got this master's degree that's now just like, it's in a frame right here, but that's like all it's doing. But I'm just like, no one saw that coming, lasting, the effects it was going to have, and how much it really did change the course of so many of our lives.
Exactly.
Right. And so this is, you know, the way it was supposed to work, and I just kind of roll with the punches. But yeah, that's how I went from overworked sports writer to romance author, which is very interesting to tell guys on dating sites like that's what I do and what I did. They don't know how, they do not know how to respond to that. And it's pretty funny to make them speechless.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So with your writing process, do you do an outline? Do you just start typing?
Jesus takes the wheel, and sometimes he's drunk. Jesus doesn't know where he's going. He gets me there sometimes. No, I started as an outliner, and I would kind of do like 5 chapters at a time. And to me, that kind of kept me on like a path. But then if I got an idea, didn't kill me to change course if I needed to like veer from that. So I would usually go like 5 chapters at a time. And I probably did that for like the first, actually, I know exactly when that went out the door. That went out the door in the middle of Rolling Hills. I think in the middle of Oliver and Izzy, I was like, this outline does not work. And actually that's when it was the first time I wrote a true no third act breakup, not the partials where you're like not broken up, but you're not talking. We need space. Like, so you can technically say it's not a third act breakup, but it kind of is. This was the first time that I truly was writing no third act, but I had one outlined in. And I'm like, no, I'm not killing her character that I just spent however many chapters making her believe in love. And now she's going to like all of a sudden go back. So that was kind of the first time that I really veered off of an outline. And then the first time that I realized that I am truly a pantser was during the one I love. And I had to write that pretty quick. I got behind, I was on a weird deadline, and I'm like, I need to know exactly what I'm doing. I do not have time for these little detours in a trip to writing Buc-ee's where you waste 3 hours, right? Like, we don't have time for that. And so I spent 3 days on an outline, 3 days, like figuring out this was going to be that and that and that. I made 3 chapters before it got completely tossed out. And then I was mad at myself that I spent 3 days. Like, how much could I have gotten written in 3 days, right? And so then when the one I hate, I was like, let's try this without an outline. And I had to go back a few times, and I've had to, I think, in every book where I think I know it, but then like, okay, it's not wrong, but you need to add a little more to get there. So you kind of have to do some backtracking. But yeah, since then, I have not seen a semblance of an outline. Like today, I'm at like just about like a little under 50% for Good Girl. And I do have written down like chapters that I want to do. I have scene ideas that I want. So, and I kind of have an like, okay, I write about this many words, so I have about this many chapters. So when I get to like kind of that point, I'll kind of start plugging ideas in that I have to make sure that they get in there. But if I have it down for chapter 25 and it ends up being chapter 28, we don't really mess up that much, because it was a very loose 25 to be with.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's chaos. I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's how it would be if I was writing too. Mandy would have like a solid outline, and this is exactly what's going to have. I'd be like, willy nilly.
I'd have a spreadsheet going.
You always have a spreadsheet going. You keep us in line.
Listen, I love it. I like to say that I'm a B+ personality. Like, I'm not a type A, I'm not a B, I am a B+. Where there are some things that I do, I have a spreadsheet. Like the little scene outlines that's actually on a spreadsheet, so I can keep track of my word count, so I know where I'm at and I'm easier. My finances and my daily numbers and everything are on the most complicated, complex spreadsheet that I have been building every day for 4 years. Like it is, because I need that to like justify my panic attacks if I'm sucking or if I'm doing good, or if I just remember doing good, but actually my money, you know, like I need that for like part of my who I am as a person. But like we're going to a trip. All right, let's just go. Let's have fun.
Yeah. See, that's how it is for
Today's
us.
a beach day. Maybe it's not.
I feel that B+, because if Mandy were not with me when we take our trips, I'm in charge and I would have all of this done. But because Mandy's with, I don't worry about a damn thing. She's got the spreadsheet. She has printed out the map before we get there, and we know which author we're seeing first. Every time.
Hi, I'm Mandy, and I bought the plane tickets. Hi, I'm Jessica. Like, you guys are that video.
We actually we were planning on doing one of those when we were at Bray, but we forgot to do a couple of them. Like, oh, we'll have to wait for the next one. And it didn't work at Bray because I booked the hotel, and normally she books the hotel, but she was gone when the hotel block came available, so I booked it.
Yes, but I would like to point out that she booked the hotel and then she couldn't find the reservation. And I found it.
I called the hotel though. I called the hotel and I asked the guy, I was like, because I couldn't find it in my email. And he was like, no, you don't have a reservation here. And then Mandy came home from somewhere that day and she got into our Bestie Book Reviews, our account, which is one that we both share. I never get in it. Mandy's always in it. It's her type A personality. So she tells me if there's something to address. And she's like, it's right here. And she sent it to me. And I was like, I don't know what this guy was thinking. We had a reservation at that hotel. By then, I'd made a reservation at the hotel across the street because I was panicking. So then I canceled that one. But then
you actually made 2 reservations.
I know. I think we figured out. So we had 2 there for a minute. I think we figured out who the guy was though at the front desk, because when we were there, it was really hot in our room. Or no, it wasn't that. It was the air conditioner was really loud. It kept clicking on and off, and it would wake her up throughout the night. And so I called down and I was like, "Is there any way to get it colder in here? Because we're 40-year-old women. And B, can you like make it not click on and off?" And he was like, "No, I don't think there's any way to do that. I don't think I can help you." And then the next day we were talking and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was probably the guy who said we didn't have a reservation."
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
He just did not know what he was doing. So
I love it. No, I'm, like I said, I'm B+. So like I have a little bit of a map. Like I'm going to Disney in November. If I needed to right now, I could absolutely make my reservations and I'll buy my tickets and doing all that. But I have a friend who does like the Disney like travel. So if I can get her to do it, why do I? Just tell me where I'm going. Like, I don't need to have that much control. Just like, I need to make sure I'm at Magic Kingdom on Saturday because I'm there for a reason. That's it. Like, everything else will go.
Tell her. Just tell me where to be and what time to be at it. And I might ask you 4 or 5 different times, but I need you to tell me that and I'll be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I love it. But like, that's what makes it good. Because if you were the same, then that's just this.
That would be a lot.
Yeah, no. So that's why you guys work so well.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes she doesn't even know where we're going. We went to Phoenix and she's like, "What time does our flight leave for Vegas again?" And I'm like, "Well, we're not going to Vegas." I don't
know why. I knew we weren't going to Vegas. I knew we were going to Arizona, like, but I also kept saying Tucson.
What time does the flight leave for Tucson? And I'm like, again, that's not where we're going.
I was in the right state, just not the right city. I'll be there. Just tell me where to go. You know?
I love it.
I'd be mess. Hey, if I was in charge, I'd know where I was going, because then I went to LA the following weekend and I was in charge and I managed to get everybody from point A to point B, and I had pneumonia. I was good. We were good.
Everything's fine.
I don't remember much of that trip, but we're good.
Oh gosh.
It's fine.
I was just a little sick. It's okay. No big deal.
So besides golf, what do you like to do in your free time?
Oh, well, it's summer right now. So if I'm not golfing or working, you can find me at the pool with a book. I am a summer reading poolside girly to the max. Winter makes me sad, like
Me
for
too.
many reasons, but like I need sun and I need a book and I need to kick my feet in a little water. Like that's what. So right now it's like that's pretty much it. Um, I tried to start baking for a while. That kind of comes and goes. I've been trying to decorate my office and this for put it this way. I put it in my like bio in the backs of my books that I'm redoing my condo 2 years ago, and I haven't felt the need to take it out. So it's still
Love it.
current.
Love
Like I
it.
have this wall that's not even straight. Like always like I like the little gallery look of it. You know, it's fun. It's got my purple in it. And then then I look at it, I'm like, well, that's not straight. But then when I will leave this live and I have a level and I'll go take it and it says it's level and I'm like, what's happening here? So yeah, so like I'm staring at a wall right now that has like green like paint strips because I was gonna do like a book like wall. Those have been up there for a while. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing when I'm not writing or writing.
Is that why your character was an interior designer? You were hoping to inspire yourself a little bit?
I needed something. I needed something to inspire me. It did not work. It did not work. Damn it.
Well, it's probably because you didn't get a hot British guy at the airport.
Right? Four
Yeah.
times I've been to the airport this month, and not once did a Logan sit next to me and call me love. And I'm mad about that.
Oh, you should be.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The nerve.
Such a disappointment.
Maybe you weren't in the right hotel bar. I don't know.
Right? Like, no, I got like the old woman who she was lovely, I guess, but like she had never flown, or she like last flew in like 1962. So she wasn't. She was uninformed of zones, and she
Oh,
just tried to go up. She just tried to go up, but because she was
oh.
old, they were just like go.
Yeah.
But then she asked me why I wasn't going, and I said I'm not allowed yet, and she was confused by that. That's what I get. I get to help the nice little old ladies. I don't get Logans. Blech. Who wasn't supposed to be British, by the way.
Oh, really?
He was supposed to be from Iowa. This is how chaotic and why I don't outline. Okay. I tried to work with a writing coach who I was just like, how I felt like I was wasting time because I wasn't connecting with the like characters, or it was taking me too long to like figure them out as a pantser. So I was like, maybe if I do these like coaching sessions and we like talk through the characters, I'll feel like I know them better and I can write quicker. Like that was my it's a fair mind thought. Like it couldn't hurt. So we brainstormed and we came up, and he was supposed to be like, he did have a brother, but he was supposed to be young. I don't remember if it was younger or older, but he did have a brother just like he did. And where the brother was like the all-star athlete, he was the gaming nerd, and which did end up happening. But like a lot of like the characters kind of stayed the same, but he was like a Midwest boy from Iowa that came from like the football town where the parents didn't understand that you could make like that why they even had an esports team, let alone like you can major in video games, kind of, you know what I mean? Like very old school, like way of thinking or whatever. And then I wrote the first chapter I wrote, because I thought it was going to be chapter 1, was actually the airplane scene where ended up being after their one night together. But at first I thought it was chapter 1. This is again where I tend to go back and fill in spaces. And his first words were, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, well, that sucks. Like, that's not good. And then I said, "Are you okay, love?" And I'm like, oh, well, now we have something. Oh, is he British? I think he's British. And then I went to make sure in Runaway Bride I didn't screw myself by saying anything about his nationality. And luckily I didn't. But yeah, Logan became British.
I think that was a good call.
I love it. Like he is
I think that elevated him a little bit.
Him and Emmett are by far like my top two, I think readers love heroes. And he might be number one. Like I think I get more tags and like edits and like they include him in like book boyfriend lists than anybody else. Like people, it was definitely the right call, but it wasn't. This is also why I say that my first idea is never my best idea. Usually I need to make the bad pancake before the good ones come out.
We all do. Yeah.
So we just saw you at Bray. Do you have any more signings that you'll be at?
Yes. So I have 2 in August. I will be at Love in the Queen City, which is end of August. Beginning of August is Northeast Ohio book signing. Yes. It's in my hometown, so I love it. I literally get to sleep in my own bed in there. And then end of the year, I will be at Indies Invade Philly, which is one of my favorite signings. So I will get to be there. And all of my 2025 forums, if you're looking for me, I use Beventi. So you can go on Beventi and follow me there. So you will always get updates for what signings I'm going to, what my pre-orders are up at, if you're looking to see me anywhere.
Perfect.
I think you're going to be in 26. You're going to be at something we're going to be at too.
I'm trying to remember. I'm like, I think all of them have been announced. All but one has been announced. So yeah, so Holiday with the Bells. I'll be at Holiday with the Bells in Dallas.
Yes.
Which is Holidays, my like emotional signing because it was my very first signing that I went to as a reader, and it was my first signing as an author. And so like anytime that I can do Holidays, like I will cancel other plans to go to Holidays with the Bells. So I'll be at Holidays. I will be at Wild and Windy in Chicago. That just got announced. And tickets are coming up on sale or just went on sale. I'm going to Star of the North. That's 26, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll be there
Star
too.
of the North, which is Minneapolis. I'll be there. And I'll be at Bray again next year.
Okay. So we'll see you a few times next year.
Yeah.
Yay!
Will.
So fun.
I just booked our hotel for Star of the North.
Hey, I'm excited. I want to do, I know it's super touristy, but I really want to do them all. Like, I have to see the Mall of America. Like,
I do too. I haven't told Jessica that we're doing that, but we're going to.
Sure.
I'll be there with you, and we're riding a roller coaster. Like, I want to ride a roller coaster through a mall.
Yes. I will take pictures from the ground.
Okay, we can ride together, Mandy.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mandy booked that and sent me the link the other day, and I was like, "We're going to Minneapolis?" Like, that's literally what I said to her.
No, actually, you're going to Tucson, and then
yeah.
We have a lot that we're doing, and she'll be like, "We're going." I'm like, "Okay." Put it in the spreadsheet, and then I never look at the spreadsheet. So it's in a spreadsheet. I have
a feeling you don't look at a spreadsheet too much.
No, there's a lot in that spreadsheet. Okay, so
that's fair.
Yeah. She has
to get to see you guys a few times.
We meet at the airport, so I have to drive a couple hours north, and she has to come south to get to the airport. Yeah. And she usually will take a shuttle down to the airport, and she will message me probably at least 3 times before she books her shuttle, asking me what time we are leaving again before she finally gets the shuttle booked. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hey, she's got the info. I don't either. She texts me. We talk so much that text gets lost.
Oh, it's so lost. It's so lost.
So, you know.
Also, why is it such a pain to search through old text messages iPhone?
It just is.
Like, it is 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know things that you told me, but we use your services a lot. Let me search. Have a search function that works.
Exactly. That would be so nice.
Same to you, Gmail.
It would be cool if you could, like, highlight or star certain ones.
Yeah, something.
And then those you can pull up separate.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to remember to screenshot it. Like, that's a lot of work.
And then even in the screenshots, I'm going to lose that too because there's so many, like, And I share an Apple ID with my daughter, and so any of her pictures and stuff she'll even go in and delete some of my stuff when I tell her not to delete it because they're my pictures. Don't you dare touch them. I don't care if you don't like the way you look in that picture. They're mine.
Yeah.
But also, oh, it's a book thing and you don't need that anymore, Mom, right? And like just gets rid of it. And then I'm like, that was important. Like
Yeah, right.
that was an art brief. Like I needed that, you dope. So
Yeah.
So what is the best way for readers to connect with you?
So I have a Facebook group that is called Chelle Sloan's Book Squad. So I'm in there a lot. That's a little bit more laid back. We just kind of chit chat. And today I'm asking what people's favorite karaoke songs are since I just finished writing all the karaoke stuff with Ainsley. So Chelle Sloan's Book Squad. You can follow me on Instagram, which is Chelle_Sloan, or follow me on TikTok at Chelle Writes Romance.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
I think that's it. I think we covered a lot today. We talked a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. It's always fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. So thanks guys for watching. And thanks, Chelle, for being here. And we will see you in the next video.